Let me go back. There we go. Hello world, welcome back to the channel with your host, the Gaming Kaiju, and today we'll be talking about this game, Mortal Kombat 1. Well, originally I planned to do go back to Assassin's Creed 2, since if I remember correctly, we're like in the middle of the story mode, close to the end, because I think we're in sequence 6 or 7, or we completed one of them too, I don't remember, and then get back to Assassin's Creed Shadows. But since now I've been hearing many things about this game, I decided, what should I do? Should I do Assassin's Creed first, or should I save this as a review for another time? That's when I thought about it, and I was like, well, I've seen many people already started reviewing, so I might as well do this right now, and then do Assassin's Creed 2 and Shadows another time. And just in case I forget or go on topic, I got my own list of what I want to talk about for this review. And since this might be longer than any stream that I've ever done, maybe, I don't know yet. At least that's what I'm thinking. This might be a long stream. So just in case, grab some snacks, drinks, and we'll start this review. Starting with before its release. Oh, just to let you know, before we start, I'm going to talk a little bit about before its release in September 2023. Then, after that, during 2023, of September to May of 2025, which is right now, because we only have 5 days till June. Man, time's moving fast these years. Alright, so when I heard about before I heard about this announcement of the announcement trailer for Mortal Kombat 1, I was focusing on another franchise, which was God of War, because they did God of War Ragnarok's New Game Plus update, and I think it was April. Yeah, it was on April, and I was enjoying it so much. I was like, oh my god, this is such a good month this year. Can anything else make this better? And then a few days later, boom. The announcement trailer to Mortal Kombat 1 was released, showing that this is supposed to be a new era in Mortal Kombat, with Liu Kang as our creator, or you could say Lord and Savior if you want, since he's basically creating like everything since the dawn of time, as in the Big Bang to now in present day. But I would not call it that, because as a Catholic, I have my own Lord and Savior, which is right here. If you can't see, that's my crucifix. And then when I was so hyped and shocked that they were actually making another one, because since June of 2021, when they announced they were done adding and supporting MK11, well, Mortal Kombat 11, I was so sad that I didn't know what else to do. But I still play it no matter what, even to this day. So, and then after that, summer of 2022, sorry to go way back from 2023, but since I was thinking they're probably not going to make another game like this, either for a long time or never. So I decided to draw characters, like new characters, plus Liu Kang and Great Kung Lao, what I think they would have looked like in this new era. So like everything in the roster you see, like you can imagine them, but like their ancestors before them. That's what I'm thinking. Even though I did like 50 or over, like under or over 50 drawings of these characters I had to make up, except for the Great Kung Lao and Liu Kang, because they're not made up. Because it's supposed to, my perspective of the drawings takes place in Liu Kang's ending in Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, which I still have in my room, which I'll probably do some posts on YouTube for that, or make a video on those drawings, but that will be a story for another time. So where was I at? Oh yeah, 2023, they announced that they did the announcement trailer in April. They announced at the end, if you pre-order the game, you get Shang Tsung as a pre-order bonus / free DLC, because they give you a code, which I did pre-order this game, so if I open it, I still have it to this day, the paper. I could have thrown the code away since I already used it to get Shang Tsung, but I just kept it for good old memories. Then throughout between April and September of 2023, they did many trailers which are quite different. Usually for character trailers they do something like official Raiden trailer or official Scorpion trailer. They did it differently this time. They did like official Lin Kuei trailer, official Lords of Time trailer. Basically a trailer with a few characters showing their gameplay, not just one, which was quite a new perspective and take that they have done. And then of course, like I said, I pre-ordered this game. And then after pre-ordering this game and I got it, the day before they also gave me, I forgot to show this. I went to GameStop because I pre-ordered it, so I got the game. They also gave me this amulet. Let me lower this down. Just in case, because I think I hear a vibration but I can't tell. Where was I? Oh yeah. They gave me this little amulet they made. I was like, what are you giving these away for? And like, oh, because we're giving these to some people who've pre-ordered Mortal Kombat 1, and we made a few of them in different colors, so we decided to give you this one. And I was like, oh, nice, you got me my favorite color. If you're wondering, did the string come with it? No, I did that myself. Reminded me like how back in Mortal Kombat 9, where Liu Kang defeated Shang Tsung, and then he was rewarded an amulet, like a medal or with like this, and Raiden gave it to him for winning the tournament and defeating Shang Tsung. That's what it reminded me of. Sometimes I wear it when I'm not playing the game, even though I mostly been wearing it when I'm playing this game. Sometimes during my live streams with you guys, but sometimes you can't tell I'm wearing it because one, I'm like almost close to the camera, or because it's mixed with my crucifix because it's also brown, so you can't tell which one is he wearing. Is he wearing his crucifix or his amulet given to him at GameStop? Actually, let me put it on me. Might as well, since we're talking about this anyways. And then, of course, a few days before I got the game from GameStop, because I pre-ordered it, I asked some of my friends if they wanted to play, and because I told them that throughout from April 2023 to almost close to its release date that they were doing trailers and stuff. I showed it to them like when we were on our lunch break during work or when we're out of work. I tried to show it to them. They seem to enjoy what they've seen so far. So when I invited them to come over to hang out so we can play, they actually enjoyed it. And then we did also the story mode, which I will talk about in a bit. We did some story mode, well, actually not in a bit. So I want to talk about some gameplay and stuff first before the story mode. But where was that? Oh yeah. We did mostly fights against each other for like an hour to an hour and a half. Then we did the story mode together. Well, almost the whole story mode. They left, like, some of them started leaving to go back home to get ready for work the next day, which they started leaving between chapters, ending of chapter 3 to beginning of chapter 8. So not all of them got a little farther to the story mode, but not everyone. And then, of course, they told me if I finish it that day, let them know at work how it went. Story mode, I mean, which I'll get to in a bit as well. So after that, I started enjoying this game from the story mode, and I didn't do anything else because I wanted to save its next mode, which we'll talk about, the few days after I started working. So like on my off days, I continue playing, and I do sometimes play on a work day, but that's like before or after work when I come back or go. But yeah, so that's how it is when it was released. And where's my list at? I wanted to make sure because I don't want to get too off track like I did a few times, but it was just to explain why. Let's see. Okay, so my first step I wanted to talk about was gameplay and, well, my paper says customs, but it's supposed to be customization but I only put customs because my piece of paper I didn't have enough room to write the whole word, so I just put customs. But you probably understand I meant customization. So gameplay wise, for example, people I've heard talk about that they hate, or depending on their, let me just click this. what they talk about that they say is kind of unnecessary or it's not a good mode is invasions. And now I've not started. I was mostly, well, kind of started it. As it shows, I have done. Well, I could see it from here. It's 2% completed. So I was doing a little bit of this when I went to Towers of Time because I keep forgetting. I was like, okay, so when I log in for Millennium season, go to Towers of Time first, and I completely forgot. So I was like, oh wait, why am I doing here? I meant to go to Towers of Time, so I checked and went there. Top 10 right now is so close to top 5%. But we'll talk about that mode, Towers of Time, in a bit. For me, Invasion mode, let me just click this. It's actually new, because never done something like this before, because people did say they wanted the crypt in this game, but we didn't. We got this. But for me, oh yeah, sometimes when you walk and you press the arrow again, they just go back to where they were. But where was I at? Oh yeah. Now for me, it's actually a new mode that I quite enjoy. Of course, they get now that they're repeating their seasons now, it's not a lot of new rewards, but there is some rewards, like they're doing, well, some new rewards, like they're doing, like some of the DLC characters that are not guest characters get an alternate color variation of their default outfit, like Takeda, like for this season, Takeda would have a skin based off this Melina season, and he didn't get one for the previous Melina season. It was basically a Havoc season that people seem to not enjoy, but his Havoc skin is basically the Chaos skin that you get in the story mode Chaos Range, which I'll talk about in a bit, well, later. But this is actually pretty good. At first, when they first did this, they never had this map like you're seeing right now. All the locations, treasures, the shops, the bosses, that kind of thing. That's not until Season 8. And of course, now that there's 8 seasons of Invasion mode, but now they're just repeating it now since they're supposedly now they're done with the game, and surprisingly that's all they're gonna do with the seasons, just 8. Because I remember Mortal Kombat had more. I think 20 total. I'll have to double check on that. But this one is 8, so it's less. But they had like a lot of rewards from when they started these 8 seasons. Now it's just a little bit or less, you could say. Just mostly for the DLC characters, since they, like I said, they get an alternate palette of their default outfit, like Takeda, Sector, Quan Chi, that kind of thing. And some of them, they're other variations of those skins, like from the DLC story or anything like that. That's another thing. But for me, now from what we got when we first started, it was okay. And during seasons 1 to 4, it was okay. Then we get to seasons 5 and 8, for me, from Season of the Storms, which is Raiden, to Season of the Dark Dragon, which is Liu Kang, my boy, and my best main. Just to let you know, when I say that, I mean like I do my best to main like every character I can in fighting games, and in Mortal Kombat, I do my best to main everyone, like be good as all of them. But the one I'm good at the most is Liu Kang. Just a heads up. So where was I? Oh yeah, that it went from seasons 5 to 8 went from okay, like while the first 4 was okay, the last 4 was from good to great. Because good was Raiden's and Reptile season of Invasions, and then Shang Tsung's to Liu Kang season was when it went to great. Because they actually did something for these 2 characters for their seasons of Invasions that I actually liked. Even though for Shang Tsung's Invasion I was kind of confused. Since it's called Season of the Soul Eater, they're all revenants, but I'm like, shouldn't that be for Quan Chi season? Since 1, he's a necromancer, 2, he's the reason we had revenants since the ending of Mortal Kombat 9, and then it's already taken from most of Mortal Kombat X to Mortal Kombat 11. He's the reason we have Revenants, not Shang Tsung. Well, of course, the reason why they did Shang Tsung is because it's since supposedly it's his season, and with the whole story part of his season that he had a spell, but he messed up, so now he has to absorb souls to help him stay alive, and supposedly that spell also creates revenants, even though that should have been for Quan Chi. You know, Quan Chi is in Shang Tsung's season just as a pure enemies, a boss fight. If you get him, you get his Order of Darkness outfit, which I love over. I do love the outfit over his New Era and Union of Light skins, which I will rate these skins later according to my list. How I'm gonna talk and review about this game, and then after that, that's the one thing I think they could have done with Shang Tsung season, like maybe switch them instead of Shang Tsung and the Revenants should have been Quan Chi and the Revenants, since most of the seasons of invasions for Shang Tsung were just Revenant skins. But when we get to Liu Kang, I liked it, but the one thing that confused me was like they had like robotic lines or veins, you could say, on their bodies and a little bit shown on their clothing, which I was like, why is that? Is it like they're part Chronica or whatever? But then until they kept saying that their Liu Kang from season 8 of Invasions was he would restart the timeline every time something gets messed up, or if he didn't like it, he would restart it. Which is why he's been destroying everything, and then he discovered our timeline. He wants to destroy ours. Which at first I was quite confused what they look like, but when I saw the colors, I was like, oh, these colors, the veins might be weird, but the colors they added for these season 8 invasion skins, really cool. And their voices kind of sound high tech or robotic, you could say, or a little bit high pitched with the voice. Like with some characters, if you equip their season 8 palette instead of their original palette, their voice would change a little. Like I said, it would sound advanced or high tech. But for me, and after that, now they're repeating it with a few rewards, not a lot. So like I said, mostly for the DLC characters, that's about it. And they did something new. They did some cameo skins you can get in the game through the repeat of invasions, mostly for Cameo Sector and Cameo Cyrax, which are the Mortal Kombat 11 skins. Even though, my opinion on that was like, that's cool that they gave it to the cameo skins, but since I heard a lot of people didn't like female Sector and Cyrax, maybe they should have given them an option to also give not just their cameos, but their fighter versions of Sector and Cyrax the Mortal Kombat 11 skin too, because at least if they don't, since I know a lot of people didn't like their female counterparts, at least the Mortal Kombat 11 version could like change them from their voice from women to men, and plus they were men before NRS decided to change them to women for whatever reason that is. And my take on that, it's new, but kind of weird that they chose to switch their genders. I don't know why, but maybe in a review they'll explain it. I don't know. Since now they announced they're done supporting this game, but they'll just do a few balance updates in case there's like bugs or anything that needs to be fixed. That's about it. And before I go to the next step on gameplay, for me, since there's 8 seasons now from the 8 characters that have their own themed of invasions, like Fire, the Storms, Reptile, if I had to choose to rate them from worst to best, you could say, on the bottom, it would be Nitara, and then after that, it would be, who's next? Who is it later on? It would be Melina, and then after that, it would be Reptile, and then, let's see, Nitara? Let me make sure I'm keeping track. Nitara, Melina, Reptile, then Sub-Zero with a difficult boss fight, yet for some reason, you unlock his Order of Darkness skin immediately once you get to Invasions, even though you usually get it after you defeat him. But that was the first one when they updated the game, they accidentally gave it to you for free once you log into Invasions. That was weird. It was weird for me too. It was like, did I beat this already and I just don't even have a memory about it? No, it was not that. It shows it's because when I logged out of the Misas and I went to Misa Select, it said they were not completed, but I'm like, then how did I get the skin? So that's why I put in 4th place. And after that, Scorpion is 5th place, right? Yeah, he's 5th place. After that, Shang Tsung is 3rd place, because like I said, it was great, but they could have switched Shang Tsung for Quan Chi, since he was basically more known for the Revenants, not Shang Tsung. So that's 6, and then Raiden, which I did like, because now they're giving Dark Raiden back for people who loved his design and outfit and the character. And then, last but not least, the one on the top, who's the top dog of the Invasions, was Liu Kang. So like I said, I liked what they've done with Liu Kang, and then the skins for Invasions, and then that boss battle though, actually pretty good. And I was expecting, like everything I was expecting when that happened, like the whole fire beam, like in Season 5 Invasions, when you had to fight an electric Season 5 version of Liu Kang, he would charge up, then shoot the fire beam. He still did that, I think, he still did that in his Season Invasions, and that was one thing I was expecting, which was really good, because I did like it. And then earning his skin was a little tough, but with the last character I had to level up, which was during that time, was Cyrax, because when Season 8 of Invasions came out, they also released Chaos Reigns at the same time, so when I did the first third of Invasions, I leveled up Noob Saibot from rank 1 or level 1 to level 20. Then the middle of Invasions, the second third, I played as Sector. Then the last third, I played as Cyrax. So I leveled all of them up, all 3 of them to level 20 before I got to Liu Kang's boss fight. So at first I was going to switch to Noob Saibot to defeat Liu Kang, or use Liu Kang against Liu Kang, but I forgot, because when I found out I completed it, I was like, oh darn it, I forgot. I was planning to use Liu Kang or Noob Saibot, but I forgot. But I got the skin otherwise, since I defeated the Order of Darkness Liu Kang from Season 8. And I think I spent more time on that this season Invasions, than any other Invasion. But yeah, like what I said about ranking worst to best on the Season Invasions, it's Nitara on the bottom, then it goes up to Melina, Reptile, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Shang Tsung, Raiden, then Liu Kang. Let me know what you guys think, how you rate the Season Invasions worst to best, from top to the bottom. As in, who do you think had the worst season, that whoever overall had the best season? I'd like to know. Let me know in the chat or in the comments after I'm done with this live stream. Now that we're done this, let me talk about another thing. If it loads, there we go. So another thing, I could have just clicked the Misa Select. I didn't think of that. Tower of Time could have been added since the beginning, like other people say, which they could have, but I don't know why they decided not to till now, or they didn't think of that till now. But there's one difference they have between Mortal Kombat 11's Towers of Time and this game's Towers of Time. MK11, 1 week you get to do all the towers and then collect your rewards, whatever rank you're at. This game, for some reason, gives you 2 weeks, which is, like, sometimes when I play it and I get all the points, including completing the weekly challenge, I'm already at the top. Of course, like it says, the more that people earn many points by playing the game, you start losing points, and then your rank will go down. So I just do my best to keep going up for 2 weeks, and then when I feel like I have so many points and that a lot of people are going to reach, that's when I'll stop and play 1 or 2, go back to it 1 or 2 days later. Even though I log in every day, but I don't like do all the modes every day because just in case there's something else I want to do in the game. Like for right now, I have 371. Like right now, I have 371 points right now. Like I said, I'm close to top 5, but I'll play more to see if I can get to it or not. Where was I at though? Oh yeah, for some reason they give you 2 weeks. I don't know why, because it's like it's good that they give you more time to complete these challenges, but it's also like sometimes really slow because like when you like sometimes for me, I know it's supposed to be 2 weeks, but sometimes I'm ready for like it's one Tuesday, and then the next Tuesday I'm like, okay, I can claim my skins, I can claim my prizes, and then when I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting, man, I keep forgetting that they always do 2 weeks. Because I know when I was playing Mortal Kombat 11, I always know it's a week. I'm ready to claim my rewards. What ring did I get? I always got into the top 5. And now that I have unlocked literally unlocked and completed literally everything in Mortal Kombat 11, which is why I have not done any streams about it on my channel, because what else can I do now that I've completed everything? Like, there's nothing else for me to do, which we'll talk about another day. But in this game, now that they add more stuff, and for some reason Tower of Times gives you 2 weeks, I'm like, what else can I do? Like, sometimes I have this feeling like I'm still in top 5 and no one else has gotten up. At least to me, I'm like, what else can I do to kill time while I wait for my results? So sometimes I would stick to playing Tower of Time more for like an hour or two, or do some single fights to practice the characters to get good at them. Sometimes I'll just do some story mode just in case, just like because there's something else to do. Sometimes I'll do practice, that kind of thing. But yeah, another thing that difference between MK11's Tower of Time and this game's Tower of Time, usually the challenges where in MK11 where the dragons like flying around the tower, that's their challenge, but like if you complete it, you get 1,000 coins per challenge completed. In this game, it's just 3, but at least it gives you points to reaching up your rank, which is another thing MK 11 doesn't do. It doesn't do points, it just does your score on the tower, and that's how it will raise your rank. And if more people play, that's when your rank goes down. But if less people play, your rank will still stay the same unless you keep playing, which is what I've been doing. Like I said, like from the release of Mortal Kombat 11 to this day, I still play it, even though even like I said, it's complete. What else can I do? If you're wondering, or about to ask me, if you complete everything, you say you have nothing else to do, why are you still playing it? Mostly, whenever I decide to play it, I just do single fights, because at least I can still do that. I could also do story mode, but I've also been doing single fights while customizing if I wanted to. Like if I have any other ideas, then I'll do that, then go to single fights a lot. And like this game, now that this is done, I'll probably do the same thing, unless there's other things I want to redo or like do again. I would do that as well, because now that they're done with this game, just like with Mortal Kombat 11, it's the same thing that's going to be with this game. Like, even though it's done, I'm still going to play it no matter what, because I love both games, which I'll talk about what I think about both, probably at the end of the stream. Yeah, at the end of the stream, since I put that on my list as the last thing, well, second to last, because there's another announcement I want to make, since this game's ending. So, for Towers of Time, I'm glad they bring it back. Just confused why they decided 2 weeks is good, even though it's kind of long sometimes when you forget, oh yeah, it's 2 weeks, not 1 week. I have to wait another week for my awards. which right now is 15 hours, 15 hours, 3 minutes to go till you can claim the rewards. For all of us, in case we're still doing tower to time. Who knows now? Next step, talk about, let me get some water while it loads. Man, I was thirsty. Tower to time, classic towers, that's the thing. Well, classic towers is basically the usual towers you get, which is there's 3 versions of the towers to get the arcade ending, and then the endless and survivor, which I did a couple of survivor in Mortal Kombat 11, but I got like 5 times I defeated 25 opponents. But this game, I think I was so close to the number 25, but I lost. I was close though. I defeated like 22 or 23 opponents, and like on the 23rd or 24th opponent, I lost. But I was close, so that's still a new record. I haven't done it again since I've been doing other things in this game, like invasion, single fights, and then the DLC story mode. So yeah, let me log out of this. Then go back here. So online fights, that's another thing that they've done. So can I still click it when I'm online, or will the camera go away? Let me try to click on this, see if it does anything. Okay, we're good. The camera didn't go away. So I want to make sure, because I usually like when I'm looking at the camera too, just to know. So like, just like in, that's another thing I forgot to talk about, the difference of usually seasons they do between Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat in this game. In the previous entry, which is 11, the only Combat League or seasons that they do is only online. So like for example, let's say you want to do it, but you don't have PlayStation Plus, you could start, playing it, then you're like, you just missed all the rewards it could give you. But in this game, let's say for example, you don't have PlayStation Plus. You want to do online, but you can't because you don't have it. You might have missed your chance to get these rewards unless you do manage to get your PlayStation Plus back before the season ends. But since you can only do offline, for the meanwhile, you could still get your rewards, which is only in invasions. And then once you get your online PlayStation Plus back and want to do the online Combat League, then you can get it. Another difference they do in Combat League, which is that in Mortal Kombat 11, you get your customized character, but you can't select the moves that were for your customized character. They're all in random. Like whatever 3 they give you, that's the 3 they'll give you. In this game, in Combat League, it's choose your character, choose your cameo. And it doesn't stay permanent. You can always change it, since there's an option to change the team. So if I click it, it'll say which fighter do I want, and then after that, clicking the fighter, it'll say which cameo do I want. Sometimes I've been changing it now. At first, from the beginning of the game to now, when I did Combat League, it was just Liu Kang and Kung Lao. But now that Madame Bo is out as a cameo, I switch it around. Sometimes I'll do Liu Kang and Kung Lao. Sometimes I'll do Liu Kang versus Madame Bo, which I'll talk about those in a bit. And of course, you have the casual and private room, or in case you want to do fight with friends or anything like that. But sadly, there's one thing that this game's missing that I bet a lot of people are saying. No lobbies. Which I'm surprised they have not done that still. The only thing they did is the Warrior Shrine was just the leaderboard. Because for me, I thought when they were going to announce the Warrior Shrine, I was like, is it like the regular shrine in this game, but with like very, very rare or epic rewards you can get? It's not. It's the leaderboard with the statues from 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place in the ranking. That's about it. And then the online settings, which is different, that I like that they did online in this game than MK11, because I'm surprised MK11 didn't have it at the time. is the voice chat. You can mute yourself or you can mute other players. Turn it on, it's muted. Turn it off, it's not muted. Crossplay, they both games had, which that I liked more, so I could fight people on other consoles, which is good. Now for online, I've been seeing that's about it. So like I said, if you want to do online, for Comment League you can, but same thing with MK11. But if you don't have PlayStation Plus and you don't get it back in time before the season ends, then you lost your chance until they bring it back sometimes. But for this game, it's like you lost your chance, but they'll bring it back another time. But at least you have invasions, if you want to do invasions, that is, because not a lot of people do that. Now, before I go to customization, the tutorials are quite different. Well, at least these ones are the same. Not all of them are completed, but I do plan on going back to all these soon, just in case, so I can, like I say, I try to main every character, so I'll do my best to do these. Going back to it, but challenges, as in like you get this, you complete the challenge by like in MK11, it's like complete all of these movesets, then you get a skin. This one right here is just completing combos, which MK11 in some of the tutorials, the character tutorials, it's like you do the regular moves, then the special moves, then if you combos, and then like the amplified version of those moves, then you're done. This game is just all the tutorials for the character tutorials, it's just all combos. That's it, from small combo to big combo at the end. That's about it, and that's why most of it I did like 1 or 2 of the lessons at most. Most of them have 9, and I think some of them have 8. And I think one had 7 lessons for the trial. I don't know. And the practice that they done in this game, which I still have saved in. Where was I at? Oh wait, let me turn it up. That they have what they've done in MK11 that I wish they could have done here is like all the same stuff that's saved, like oh darn, let me lower it down. That they saved that I did in Mortal Kombat 11, which is that like the health bar doesn't show the my opponent is a CPU, and it doesn't tell me like how many hits or how much damage does it do. That's why I saved in Mortal Kombat 11, which is like anytime I go back to practice, it's the health bar is always gone, the telling me how many hits or damage is gone, but my opponent is the CPU, so I can practice against it. This game does not have it. At least I don't think it does, but I can double check right now. Let me just switch. Let's make it a mirror. And like I said, sometimes I'll do one of those two in one of the 2 cameos is Liu Kang in Combat League, so I might as well switch out. So look, so there's the moves, opponent type. Ooh, playback recording, is that? What is this? Oh, wait, did I think? Stand. Okay, I think I might be right. Oh, never mind. They actually did add it back. Okay. Never mind, but can I change what I was talking about where the health bar is gone? Or no, wait, that's in practice settings. Oh, there it is. Wait, is it? Ah, okay. So, yeah, you can now, because last time I checked was before they did Chaos Reigns release. They didn't have the whole You can get rid of the whole where it tells you how much damage or how many hits you've done. Now they've added just still no option to get rid of the health bar. Right? Yeah, that would be the health bar, because the rest is just meter and that's it. Which is another thing about the gameplay I want to talk about. The breakers, when you break a combo, it's all 3 meters, 3 meter bars, and you're empty once you use it. So when I kept playing, I was like, I wonder if they're gonna update the game where will they bring it down from 3 meter bars to use to break a combo to 2? No, they have not done that, but that would have been good, because just in case you want to amplify one of your special moves for a combo after breaking the combo of your opponent. But nope, they have not done that. And since Madame Bo's the only cameo with the settings, since supposedly drink serve you can change, because she's the only one that can do that. So pretty cool if they added that into the settings in practice mode. Now, next thing to talk about, the shrine, which says one thing now, that you have obtained all possible shrine rewards. Congratulations. Because the last time they added stuff was when they because first it was seasons 1 to 8 of Invasions, you get rewards from the seasons in the shrine. Sometimes with costumes that you can get in the game and not just in the premium shop. And then when Chaos Reigns came out, same thing. Rewards of season 8 and then stuff from Chaos Reigns you can get. That's about it. And then now that they added T1000, you get some stuff for him and Madame Bo and a few other things, and that is it. Now you just get this message that says, congratulations, you got all the shrine rewards from the shrine. Wish they could have added more though. Same thing like they did with the previous entry, because I got so many stuff too. Even though I could still do it, but they'll just give me like augments or stuff like that in the shrine in MK11 because it's now in the crypt. This one is just a separate option in the gameplay settings. Collection is not complete though in like MK11, because if you look at the bottom, I got all the Invasion movies, all the indie movies, the musics, the environment arts, but the character art is the only thing I have not completed. And according to it, it's my favorite number of completion, 95. I have 95% unlocked everything in the collection area. That's about it. And PS5 turn, that's a thing I think they later on added in Mortal Kombat 11, but that's like probably after they announced they were done with the game, or when you have the PS5 upgraded version, that's when they tell you can go to tournaments now, which I don't think they do anymore, but I can always double check. But they do it here still, even though they just announced they're done with the game. Now, before I go to customize, one more thing I want to talk about. Hey, what is that vibrating sound? Just a second. There we go. So let's say a lot of people are having mixed things at the premium shop. Like for some skins, you can get throughout in the game, but some skins would have a star symbol, for example. That means you can only get here. And I know now that it's $5 or 500 dragon crystals to get a skin. At first, that's what, for me, I was okay with just okay. That's about it. But then it turns out that announcement voices are 1,000 dragon crystals, and for some reason you got to, if you want seasonal fatalities when they started it, you had to buy them as well with dragon crystals. But supposedly there was a thing that if you get one seasonal fatality, the other two are already unlocked because you got the first one. I didn't believe it first, but when I got the Halloween one, then waited for the Thanksgiving and December one and Christmas one, because they eventually did it, I got them for free because I checked the premium shop and it said it was already unlocked or purchased, as it says. I'm like, I don't remember purchasing this. Did I actually purchase this and I just don't remember it? Nope, they were right. if you get one of them, you get all of them, which are a surprise. And just like the premium shop, you could say in MK11, just like in this game and MK11, you can still get easy fatality tokens, which is still cheap to this day. Weird. It's just $1 or 100 dragon crystals. And then after that, there's the store if you want to get more dragon crystals or DLC. Let me lower this down, because we're not playing that much. Seasonal items, which is another thing that this game does that Mortal Kombat 11 doesn't. Well, kind of, but I'll explain that. You can get a bunch of rewards with the seasonal tokens. That's another currency you can get in the game, but it's not an in-game currency where you could buy a DLC of this stuff and then it'll be in your game. That's just dragon crystals. Last game was time crystals. Now it's dragon crystals and seasonal coins. There's also this gold green one that's in Invasions, which is, I think it's called something tokens. I just don't remember the first word. That one doesn't do anything except unlocking a legacy tower so you can play it and get a skin, which I've been doing since the release of Conan the Barbarian. I've been playing Legacy Tower as well, and like after the first tower I completed with Conan the Barbarian, then the rest of the towers I did for the Legacy Tower, no other skin reward was there. So I'm like, well, they did say it was over 300 skins per character. Like it was like from 14 to 20 skins per character. So I'm like, I probably got all of them. I just don't even know that. So I probably did. But now you can also get, with the seasonal credits, you can get other skins, like the seasonal skins, the gear piece, and surprisingly the brutalities. Which, that's the thing I didn't think they would do, because usually brutalities in the previous game, you can get in the game. I usually playing through the game, then depending on what rewards you get, saying like in the tower, if you complete this tower, you get these rewards, like a brutality and sorts. Now in this game, you just have to get them with seasonal credits, which is better than getting them with dragon crystals, if you ask me, because I know a lot of people complain about the dragon crystals. And another thing about dragon crystals, before I talk about customization, like this one. I did the wrong button. Is this one? Yeah, it's this button. Now you can buy the mastery and have it all ranked up, which is another thing I didn't think they were going to do, but you can. Sadly, it's 700 dragon crystals you get to make it all the way from whatever level at to 35, unless it's a DLC character, because DLCs are from 1 to 20. I don't know why they did that. But like, even let's say, for example, my rating is at rank 31. It's still gonna be 700 dragon crystals to complete the rest of the rank if I wanted to just do that. Yeah, for me, I think what they could have done is like, if you like, depending on what rank you're at with that character, the cost should be less. Like, let's say Raiden is at rank 31. So for this, it could have been like between 50 and 100 dragon crystals. Then I'd be like, oh, okay, I can just grab it. Boom, I can get it, and then I just get the last few rewards I can get for Raiden, which is the gold stuff, the gold and silver skins, and his combat cards. That's it. But nope, they'll always stay at 700 no matter what rank you're on. Which is why I say for that one, I like you can purchase it. I just don't like how it's still 700 dragon crystals, even though you could be at a closer rank to 35. Because it's only 35 for the main roster characters and rank 20, up to rank 20 for the DLC and DLC guest characters. Now that we're going to talk about that, finally I can talk about something I want to talk about that's on my list, which is right here. Customization, which is different and new at the same time. And yes, this is how I customized my character so far. So like, this one's kind of like less customizey now in this game, because MK11, one skin, 3 gear pieces. That's it. This one is only 1 gear piece. Don't know why. Oh, another thing is that for unlocking gear pieces for characters in the previous entry, Mortal Kombat 11, it's like up to 30 pieces of gear you can unlock. Sometimes a little bit more, like 35, and then that's about it. In this game, you can get up more than that. Like my Scorpion, I have 52 pieces of gear I have for my Scorpion. That's about it. But each gear piece is just 1 gear piece per character you can customize. So far, this is my favorite on Liu Kang. Last time I did not change it at all. Like I always had this skin, but when I unlocked this last season, which was the repeat of the Cryomancers, I got this in Combat League. I'm like, okay, I really want to get this. So I started playing Combat League with him and Madame Bo, because I tried out Madame Bo in Combat League. Surprisingly, it was pretty cool. And it was doing pretty good with that combo where she does a slide, then keeps punching you, and then I do a combo to team up with her against my opponent, which is another reason I kept getting a lot of wins fast, and I was able to unlock this fast in Combat League. The bracers for Liu Kang. And then one thing different between the two games, 11 and 1, 11 had intros and victory poses you can equip in the game. 4 intros, 4 victory poses. This game is taunts. It's 2 different taunts. It's a walk away taunt, so like if you defeat your character but you're close to him, like they'll do like a walk away from them. And then after that, they'll be ready in their fighting pose, their fighting stance. Then there's a where is it? Oh, it says right here. Okay, the stationary taunts, which is like when you're in the middle of the field, or like whatever arena you're at, they'll just like do like a little or anything like that, as in like whatever pose they'll do before they start the fight. And of course, like I said, walk away taunts is like they walk away while they taunt you. If they win a match, that is. Then the finishers, we'll get to in a bit. But like, some of them, for the gear pieces, I like. There's some of them where I have, There's some of them where I like, in the customization for the characters, since it's all 1 gear piece, there's some of them where I think the option for just this gear piece is going to be, like this piece on them, that's going to be their gear piece. There's some I like, there's some that I'm like, why did you give them that as the option? Like the bracers, I understand. Let me turn it down. The bracers for Liu Kang, that's the thing that I like. That is a good piece to customize for him. And then for something else, like for example, like what should I click on? Like, oh yeah, I got one. Oh wait, not him. It was someone else. It was here, Reiko. Like his gear piece is his head piece. So like whatever he wants, he has on his head. Like you can give him any of the hair pieces, or you can give him like a helmet of sorts. It says or a headband, because there's also headbands for him. For me, I think they should have done a different gear piece, since like in his intro or Fatal Blow, he can use his knife. That's a part of his intro. Like if he gets pushed back by his opponent, he'll get up slowly and take out his knife. Either that, or his other customization piece should have been the spear, which is part of his Fatal Blow, which is like where he stabs you with his spear. He breaks his spear in half, but he uses that half to stab you in the face to break your skull. I feel like that should have been his gear piece, the spear, not the headpiece. You know, it would have been weird, like, the headpiece is going to stay the same, but the outfit's going to look different. Like, if they're going to, like, the gear piece, like, it should have been for him. If they were going to do, like, if I wanted them to do the spear as his gear piece, and, like, the headpiece is different, like, it's going to be part of his skin, like, this could be his New Era outfit. This one could be his Union Light outfit. This one could be his Order of Darkness. This one, his Emperor outfit, like the one I equipped right now, because I like that outfit out of the 5. And then this from his Outward Gala outfit. And then like the spear could have been different. Would have been repetitive for them to like do like just spears, but like they only do one gear piece like this. This could have been perfect. And another character, for example, that should have been different gear piece, but this one I'm okay with, is Rain. Some people say like all the ninjas, the customization is the mask, except for him, since he's now supposedly a sorcerer, high mage, well, slash water sorcerer instead of an assassin like in the previous games. His customization piece is his staff. And out of all of them, there's a few that I like, as in the ones I starred, as in favorites, but I like this one more. But yeah, I feel like this, for some people that say it should have been the mask, I agree. But sometimes I feel like this guy should have had 2 gear piece options, mask and staff, because I do like the customization for his staff. But sadly, we're stuck with 1 piece. Some people said we could have gotten 2 gear pieces for an update later, but we didn't. But for what we got for Rain, I think it's okay. Just having a staff for customization of his gear piece to the mask. You know, the mask is kind of changed with his skin, like his new era, his other outfits when he has shown his hair, or the classic outfits like his movie. Even though it's not from the movie, it's from the show. Or his UMK3 outfit. That's about it. I prefer this one because that makes him look, since he's supposed to be a high mage slash water sorcerer, it should have been that. Just the whole like this should have been like the part of the, darn it, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, since it's supposed to be a water sorcerer, that's why I like this outfit more. Makes him more look like a wizard, you could say, as well, since sorcerer we already have is Quan Chi and Shang Tsung. I like this more than, at first, before we got this outfit, I had these two, and I preferred the Order of Darkness outfit. But now with this outfit, I don't think it can be topped as a wizard outfit. You know, he should have had a hat along with it, or a hoodie like his newer outfit would have had, but no. Well, it's okay. And for, what's another thing for customization? Oh yeah. At first, in the finishers, there is an option, like you could equip one of the seasonal fatalities, and that you could just equip one or all of them, and that's it. But now it's just, now there's no option for you to choose one of them to equip. They're all equipped in, since the last update when they added the Chaos Reigns, which they gave you animalities, which we will get to for each character. And then of course the brutalities you can unlock, and the fatality, well, one fatality is unlocked already. The other one you have to get by getting to rank 19 or 14 depending on that character. That's about it. And then taunts, good thing you can equip more than one, like you can do with intros and victory poses in the previous entry, Mortal Kombat 11. Surprisingly, the only thing that I like they did in 11 than 11, you can view them before equipping them. You know, I mostly equipped it on all of them. Mostly on my main customization, I would have all of them equipped, and then the other 4, because there's an option to have 5 variations customized, I have like 1 each. But now in this game, you can't review the taunts. The only way you can review them is like if you win a round, then you get to see what it looks like. But if you don't like it, then you have to get out of the match and then go to the customization menu and then just equip it or unequip it if you like it or not, and equip it with something else. That is about it. But I feel like they should have added that option to view it like they did with the intros and victory poses. Oh, since actually I might as well talk about it now, since it's in the finishers section in the customization aisle. The animalities, they're most of them are like really great. Some are just good. except for one, which I was just on here. I don't know why I was moving around. Liu Kang's is a phoenix. Like, I like the phoenix. It looks pretty cool on him, but it should have been the dragon. Because even in some of his moves, like when he does like the little fire projectile where it goes like a snake or like a river, you could say, that had the head was a dragon head, and then the rest was the body. Or like when he does the kick, it shows like a dragon going this way, then he kicks you. That's another reason why before they announced the animalities in the Chaos Reigns trailer, I was like, oh yeah, that means he's gonna be a dragon, cool. And then I see this, I'm like, oh, didn't give him a dragon? That's sad. I really like the dragon. The dragon would have been really cool. Because, like, that was his thing. Even in the previous games, like Mortal Kombat 9, it might not have been animality because they had babalities, but one of his fatalities in the game was like an animality. He turns to a dragon, he eats you, turns himself back to normal. And then the ones in the old games, he turns to a dragon. He still turns to a dragon. It's a giant green Chinese dragon. This game, I don't know what they would have made it look like if he was going to be a dragon, but he doesn't turn to a dragon. He turns to a phoenix, which, like I said, is cool and all, but it should have been the dragon. Because when I saw that they were giving him the phoenix, I was like, don't tell me they're going to give someone else the dragon form. They didn't. It was just, no one gets the dragon form. But I was surprised. Some of them I can give them. Having a notebook in my room, like when I was doing like a rate of their animalities, like most of them would have 10 out of 10, which would be Omni-Man, for example. He has 10 out of 10. He turns to the giant kaiju from the show Invincible. I think the lowest I ranked was either Raiden. No, wait. It was either Ermac or Liu Kang. Okay, I'm remembering. It was Ermac, because this one for Liu Kang I gave a 5 out of 10 for him. This one, it was a 3 for me for Ermac, because I'm like, well, at first I was like, what is that he turned into? I can't tell. Then I searched up on the internet. It was like, oh, he turns to a army of wasps or dragonflies or something like that. I can't remember what the bug was called. No, locusts. He turns to an army of locusts, and they all like swarm around you to turn you just to bones. I was like, no, I was expecting for Ermac to be. I was thinking of Ermac to be something like a scary looking animal, something scary. Because I was like, what would be such a scary animal? Something that people would fear from getting eaten by. But no. They gave him locusts as the animalities. So that's why I think on my notebook I gave him a 3 out of 10 for animalities. That's about it. So he has the lowest, and like some of these other characters have like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. And he's one of the 10 out of 10. Scorpion was a 9 out of 10 because he turns to a scorpion, grabs you, he stabs you with a stinger, and then he cuts you in half with his pincers, or the claw things, like you say. Because I think they're pincers, but I might be wrong. And then that's it. Which I think they could have done before. What they could have done better is, like, since he has a stinger and most scorpions are mostly poisonous. So I think I was told that what I learned was that the smaller the scorpion is, the poisonous or venomous they are. So I feel like he stabs you with the stinger 2 times. The third one he could have been like where he puts the venom or poison in you and they start to turn purple and they go and then he'll lift you up with his stinger again, throw you up, then cut you in half. That I feel like could have been a 10 out of 10. But no, they missed that. I wanted that to be part of it, but since they didn't, I gave it a 9 out of 10. It's great, but it would have been perfect if they added that. The whole stab you a 3rd time to put poison or venom in you, whatever scorpions have inside them. And then that would be it. And then last thing for customization, which I did not think they were going to do, is the cameos. Cameos also have customization. Well, kind of. It's just a palette, and that's it. No gear piece for them. Which I feel like if they were going to do that with the fighters, like one gear piece, one skin, they should have had one gear piece, like a minor gear piece, like something like you'll notice, but sometimes you won't notice. Like, could have been just the eye. The metal eye that shoots its laser. That could have been a gear piece, but no. And some skins that I have here have like 6 or more, just depends on the character. And another thing about cameos I want to talk about. Before they released the game, like in the first gameplay trailer, they showed like these classic outfit wearing characters would help you in the fight. I was like, what are they? Because I remembered in the announcer trailer they say you can become teammates, work together, or become swore enemies. I was like, as everyone, including me, were like, is tag team coming back? And it was not tag team, it was something called cameos. When I first heard the word cameo, I thought to myself, does that mean they're just gonna pop out, be like, hey, look at me, I'm in the game, and then that's it? But then, of course, Combat Cast revealed that the cameos are just the assists, like they'll help you in the fight. And I thought, like, to myself about in MK11, they also have a modifier, which is the assist character modifier. Like, let's say I have Liu Kang on my side, and one of my modifiers in the game is like, let's say, Raiden as my assist modifier. Then in the tower, like, I use the right stick to summon him, but he'll randomly choose whatever move to use, and he'll use it on your opponent. That's why I thought in this game, if it wasn't at first when I thought it was just going to be saying, hey, I'm in the game, but it's not, it's an assist. I was like, let me guess, it's going to be right stick again, and then they're going to do whatever move they're going to perform. I can't control it. And then when the game came out, I was like, oh, never mind. It's R1, the R1 button, since I'm on PlayStation, not the right stick, and also I can actually use whatever move I want him to use. Like, let's say Kung Lao, if I want to teleport my character to the other side, just press R1, Kung Lao will teleport me. Same thing with Motaro. He'll teleport you to the other side of the fight, of the arena. Or if I want to do the spin attack where he'll hit you in the air or knock you out far in case he was trying to get close to you. That's another thing with the spin. Usually the spin would make your opponent get hit and go up in the air, so you could do like a aerial attack or aerial combo. Or sometimes if they try to hit you, but the cameo gets hit while they hit the opponent, and they just get pushed back. Or if I want to do like, which that move is R1 and right. Or when I do a different move, it's also R1 and the left arrow. Which I've mostly been using the spin attack more often with this character. Of course, they all have different ways to use the cameo. It's R1 and whatever arrows that will command them to do that move. Which I study all of them. Mostly I'm studying Madame Bo the most, since she has more stuff given to her than any other cameo ever. Like, she'll give you drinks in case you want to power up or get drunk. That's a thing you can do, because you can vomit as whatever fighter you're at. So she can do that. She can do a slide attack for a combo. If you amplify it, is what I mean. Then she can do a little, like, backflip that looks like that ends with a kick. Or you can amplify it and she does, like, 3 hits. And then, of course, there's also her just throwing, a drink. It was, wine or beer bottle, I can't remember, but she'll throw it at your opponent and they'll get hit by it if they don't block or jump at the right time, and they get hit by it. That's another thing. Which I feel like that's why for me I like both Madame Bo and Kung Lao. That's one of my favorite cameos, because Madame Bo has so many options for me. I could do whatever I want to do with her when I summon her into battle. Kung Lao, there's a few things you can do, but there's like 1 or 2 moves I like to use the most, because it helps me like win the fight or start a combo if I want to do a bigger combo. So if you ask me who are my favorite cameos, I would say it's a tie between Kung Lao and Madame Bo. So like they have so many great things with them that I like to use them all. I've been eventually using more Madame Bo than Kung Lao, but like I said, in Common League, I would sometimes switch it around, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, or Liu Kang, Madame Bo. It just depends how I feel like I'm in the mood for. If I want to be like the Shaolin Monk duo, it's Liu Kang, Kung Lao. If I want to be like the Tea House duo, it would be Liu Kang and Madame Bo. It just depends. Of course, I do play with other fighters in cameos. I just mostly use Liu Kang as a fighter and cameos Madame Bo and Kung Lao the most. And now for the next part I want to talk about. I was saving it story-wise. The story modes. Let me just go to story mode. So this is what they're split on in the first story. We'll get to Chaos Reigns in a bit. But for this game, not for this game, this story mode, let me go back up. There we go. So there's 4 acts, and usually all 4 acts are like 3 or more chapters, and that's it. Then you go to the next act. But now that it's the new era, they're all different characters. Like, they're the same character, but they have different, let's say, origins or backstories, you could say. And I liked, like, every one of them, and even some of them that they changed, I was like, ooh, I think I know what they're gonna make him be for this story. But then when I play it, I'm like, never mind. They did something different than what I was thinking about, and it actually makes sense. And like many of the story modes, like the tournament, it's okay, but it's something different. Reason what I mean by that, the tournament. It's bloody, it's violent. If you win, you gotta finish them, or else you'll be killed too. In this game, since it's Liu Kang's new era, and Outworld and Earthrealm are not like enemies, or like it's not Outworld conquering Earthrealm. It's just like more like let's just have some fun. Because according to Liu Kang in the story mode, he says no warrior in the tournament has ever been injured or killed. Now has never been injured or killed, and that's why I was like, oh, okay, so it's like a fun tournament, like a tournament for fun, but it's like more than that as well, because they say, Liu Kang says, like, if we don't, not all of Outworld agrees with this friendly tournament they have, and some of them, like, some Outworlds think, like, that's good, we're friends, we're not attacking each other, and then there's some Outworlders that prefer war, like, we should just take over or attack Earthrealm. And this tournament prevents that. Like, it's for fun, but it's also to show them that we're not here to threaten you or anything. We're just here to live in peace. That's it. And then when we get to, that's another thing I heard people talk about. What's another thing? It was right here. I think it's where I'm thinking about. No, it's in the... Yep, I was right here when I first clicked on it. This is one thing a lot of people don't like. The whole timeline, or you could say multiverse plot they're doing. That now it's that Liu Kang defeat the Shang Tsung that they defeated, but he turns out he wasn't alone on this. There's supposedly Damashi that helped, but it was actually Shang Tsung from his timeline. And people were like, oh god, no way, they're doing this, they're making it a multiversal thing. But for me, my reaction was different. Once they showed the 4 characters, Shang Tsung, Geras, Raiden, and Sindel, when I saw that, I paused it and I was like, what? I did not get that. Who is that? Why does he look like Shang Tsung? And of course, it should have been obvious to me that is Shang Tsung. But then, if it was obvious to me, I would have been like, why are there 2 Shang Tsungs? And then, of course, in that part of the story, Revelations, he's like, oh, in my time, it was just one timeline. Now, thanks to Chrono Gun, our fight against her, it made many timelines depending on who defeated her. I defeated her. I took over everything. Now I discovered there's more timelines. I want to take over yours to make it mine. And then after all of that, before the next fight, I was like, they made it canon? Both endings of Aftermath in MK11? Because I was like, usually when I was thinking like, So if they made another game, they would have made either Shang Tsung's ending canon or Liu Kang's ending canon. But instead, they make it both. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's Liu Kang's ending that's canon. That's cool. That's cool." I was expecting that should be that would be the best option to go for. But then they made them both canon. I was like, "Oh my god, they made them canon. This is so cool." The reason why I'm not like the other people that don't like the multiverse plot. For me, I like those kinds of stories where they're like multiversal. Like there's a bunch of universes out there that have different events from ours. And I'm also a big fan of the multiverse theory, which is another thing why. Another reason why I liked it, the execution. I only like the multiverse movies or stories depending how it's executed. When I saw this, and I was like so excited and surprised they actually made it multiversal because of the whole timeline thing. I was like, but how are they gonna end it? And then based on what they say here in Blind Faith, where Gears and Katana are like, maybe we can get other allies from other timelines, and they can help us defeat this Shang Tsung. And then Liu Kang's like, that's if they exist. I'm like, it's true. If they don't exist, then they're on their own. They gotta do what they can to protect their timeline and realms, because it's all the realms in one timeline. And then I was like, if they're gonna do like, oh no, we tried finding them, we can't find them. Then it was like, oh, well, that's just disappointing. We had this, and now we're not gonna do it. But of course, they showed that Liu Kang uses. That's another thing I want to talk about. Liu Kang uses the hourglass. Uses the hourglass to find other timeline allies. He first sees Katana, then they later on get Raiden and Kung Lao, and then everyone else for this one, for where all the good keepers of time / titans would fight against Shang Tsung and the other evil keepers of time / titans. But another thing they were missing here, I was waiting to see if they're gonna do it. They didn't. Because for example, Mortal Kombat, they say if you're gonna restart the timeline, you not only do you need the hourglass, you need the crown. This game did not have Liu Kang use the crown, because even both Shang Tsung, because I remember Shang Tsung said in the previous game that you can't start the new era without the crown, because if you do, you'll destroy everything. You'll destroy all of reality. Then when they started this chapter 14, where Gears is like, "Are you ready to find the allies from other timelines?" And he's like, "I'm ready if I am ready enough," as he says. And then one thing I was expecting I was expecting Gears like, before we start, you might as well need this, and that could have been the crown. And then Liu Kang would have put it on and used the hourglass to bring the allies to this timeline. But nope. No crown, and yet they made it so obvious. Well, not so obvious. So necessary. You need the crown to use the hourglass, or else bad things happen. That they didn't do. That's when it was like from going from great, from the story mode of the whole being the whole multiverse thing, from great to just good. Then it goes from really awesome when we get to here, because I'm like seeing like. That's what all of the Keepers of Time, like it's Armageddon plus all the Keepers of Time, good versus evil, in the tower, and then the best part that I like that it went from good to great in this part, the last chapter, from great to being awesome, was the whole last part throughout the last few fights in chapter 15, where it's choose your fighter. It's almost the whole roster from what it is now, basically the main 23, and then it's whatever you choose, that's who you stick with. That's about it. It's like when I first started it, the story mode, I chose Liu Kang, and then they show what this Liu Kang from the other timeline looked like. At first I was like, oh yeah, I get to play as Liu Kang, yes. But when it showed the other Liu Kang in his Union of Light outfit, I was like, oh, it's a different Liu Kang? He must be a keeper of time, and he looks like this, where he's shirtless. He has the glowing gold veins instead of the glowing dragon tattoos on his hands. And then I play as him, and he teams up with the Liu Kang we know now until the final fight, which is... darn it, I skipped it. Which is right here where you fight against Titan Shang Tsung and Titan Quan Chi, and you're all alone with that fighter because they tied up Liu Kang with the spiritual soul snake. Which I was expecting for that to be from Shang Tsung, but no, Quan Chi uses it. Which I was surprised, like, shouldn't that be a thing that Shang Tsung does? Because that's what he usually does. He's mostly a snake. Even his animality is a snake. And then after this whole thing was so awesome, I was like, and then the last few words in this part of the story before the credits, the realms are in safe hands. I'm like, yes they are. But then it ends. I'm like, that was it? And then the credits roll and it shows there's Titan Havoc with... Oh, that's another thing. Before I get there. Each of these fights, you fight a hybrid version of a fighter. Like, let's say there's a Sindel that's also part reptile. So she has green scales and a mask. And she has her abilities, reptile's abilities. A lot of people say, like, either they could have made... Maybe we could have had a creative fighter, so we can use those kinds of options and make it our own creative fighter, as our own fighter. Or they could have made those optional as a customization for the characters we have now, but they didn't. They're mostly mods. I've seen a YouTuber called Shar, he does mods, and he did one of those mods for the hybrid characters as the main characters from his video. And then for what I have to say for the first story mode, it was actually great. I was waiting to see if they're gonna do another story mode. At first I was like, maybe not. They just did it for MK1 and MK11, and that was all they were probably gonna do it for. And then I was wrong when Chaos Reigns was announced. Chaos Reigns was announced, and we got a part 2, literally titled Chaos Reigns. And when we first start, darn it, went too far. So we have the first chapter, which is with Cyrax. And for the first time ever, we actually get to see Harumi, what she looks like, if you don't count MK9's version of Harumi from the memory that Quan Chi shows to Scorpion to prove that Sub-Zero killed his family and clan, even though it was Quan Chi all along. But this is what she actually looks like. I'm like, really? That's what she looks like in this timeline? Man, I really wonder, what did she look like in the previous time? Did she look like this, but a little bit different since she was married to Hanzo, not Kuai Liang? And then we get to the part I was waiting for, it was the reign of Havoc, bringing the chaos to other timelines. But when I saw this, I was like, wait, why are they using the seasonal skins from the Melina season? That like, that's probably why they were supposed to be Havoc's, but they put it in Melina season, which is one thing people were mad about. But for me, I was like, why are they all looking like that? They don't look Melina-like at all. It's kind of confusing to me. But then I know why. They probably just want to do it for this game. Now that we have Melina seasoned-based skins now. But then when they saw this in the story mode, when I saw it, I mean, that's when I was like, oh my god, they all look like that? Except for a few. Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, Kenshi, Takeda. They have chaos skins, they don't have a seasonal variant of any of their main 3 outfits that they have. Like their chaos outfit isn't an Order of Darkness, isn't Union of Light, or New Era skin. It's a made-up skin they made up on their own for those 4 characters. And then the rest is all depending on whatever outfit they are. Like the Raiden in the middle, that's his Union of Light skin, but chaos-based themed. And then the one like you see in the left, or right, you could say, Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, they all look very different. They don't look like, they're all like what they usually look like. They're not like with like dead skin, chaos looking, red eyes everywhere. Like on, not everywhere, like on them. And like for Shang Tsung, it's really creepy looking. He has red eyes. Like the brain, you could almost see like his brain through his hair since he has less hair. And barely skin on the head. Because you can, I think I could show it to you. I'll get back to the story in a bit, but let me just make sure, just to describe it perfectly. No. Oh, there it is. See? Like, you could see the skin on the top of his head, the sides of his head. You see more of the vein and intestines more than the skin, because that's what he looks like in Havoc's timeline, where they're all chaos themed. Like, they're all about chaos. There's nothing else they are about. And then, that's another thing we can talk about this round. They all look pretty cool. Like, mostly the ones I thought they were cool were the ones that have their own skin, not just a reused Union of Light, or Darkness, or New Era skin. The only new Union of Light skin variant of Chaos I liked was Raiden, since it's supposed to be Raiden, like old Raiden, but from the Chaos version of their timeline because of Havoc. Then, of course, the rest is where they fight a few of them, as Sector, and then, of course, Emperor Rain said Rain, because supposedly Havoc said in this chapter, no, not this chapter, this chapter that he merges timelines and makes them fight to the death. That's why he was going to merge Liu Kang's timeline with his, but in order to do that, he wanted Geras, because supposedly, which makes sense, he's been, before all the whole multiverse timeline thing happened, he says Geras has been in every timeline because of those time crystals that he has. So he's trying to drain all of that so he can use it to merge our timeline with Havoc's. Which is another thing that I knew was diabolical and we had to be worried about. Then there was another thing he had. The Kami Dogu. Which I did not suspect they were going to put that in the story mode. Once he said that word, I was like, how did you get those? And of course, I don't think he says how he got them, but he says he can use, that's how he's been using them to merge timelines with his. Which proves that means he's very dangerous, but then of course at the end of story mode, he uses it to try to, that's when he uses it on him, so he can start merging their timeline with his using the portals Titan Shang Tsung's warriors were using on their timeline before they start the final battle at the end with Noob Saibot taking him down. Right here. And of course, that's another thing. For Noob Saibot's design in the story mode when they revealed him, he has green veins. So like, why is he also green? You could say, in my theory, you could say, since Havoc is all chaos themed, he gave him like chaos energy, which the chaos energy changed him from what he is now to Noob Saibot. And of course, it also made him more like a servant because he says, it's all about chaos, we must serve it. Until Liu Kang uses the Kami Dogo to get his memory back, and then he's like, oh, Havoc did this to me, I want to take him down now. Ooh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. If I can find out where it is. What was that I was going to talk about? Darn, it was right in my head. Give me a moment, guys. I'm trying to remember. It was in my head. Oh, yeah. Let me go back up. It was in the beginning. Before they pop down, there's another thing, before I get to this part, what I think about Chaos Reign so far, before I tell you about another thing they could have done, to quote a movie character, he goes by this: life is good, but it can be better. So that's what I think about Chaos Reigns. If you get where the quote comes from, good for you. You notice where it came from, 10 points for you. But if you don't know what I mean by that, replace life with Chaos Reigns. That's what I think of this story mode. Because what I think it could have been better is like, before all of these guys popped down, Melina and Katana, they mentioned that they were saying to Liu Kang, why should we show mercy to these two, Sector and Sub-Zero, for trying to attack the realms? They should be killed by us because of what they've done. The Katana's like, well, we should show mercy. Even saying with Liu Kang, it's better to be merciful at this time rather than start just making the violence endless. And of course, they even mentioned after that, according to Melina, that they did the same thing to Shao. They, instead of killing him, they locked him up in, you could say, Outworld prison, you could say. And of course, he broke free, and along with his followers, and most of the followers, they now follow him. So I'm like, oh, that's another thing they could have done. They mentioned it, but they don't bring it. Like when they get the Kamidoku, like Geras said, when all the good guys found Geras, they took him and the Kamidoku with them back to their timeline. I'm like, Havoc was mad about that, and they say, let's go to Liu Kang's timeline and get them back. There's another thing they could have done. They could have, when they go to Liu Kang's timeline again, let's say there's a cutscene where they show General Shao, or just Shao now since he's been relieved by SNL, that let's say, I think that's what the word is, that he's no longer a general anymore, like he's fired. So like let's say General Shao and the followers, they're all like in a camp. There's nothing else they can do to take over Outworld from Melina's reign and defeating Liu Kang. Then what they could have done is, when Lord Havoc, as what they've been calling him in the other timeline, gets to Liu Kang's timeline, he's like, I heard you want to take down Liu Kang. Is that true? Then like, yes, what is it? Like what they did with Sub-Zero, where he turned him, used the chaos energy to change him to Noob Saibot. They could have done the same thing with Shao and his followers. Create new allies by using that energy, because I think that's what they use with the little tendrils and the little needles on Sub-Zero. What they could have done is like he could use that on them, on Shao and his followers, and they could have looked different but more powerful. And then Melina and Katana, like most of the Outworlders that are still out there, now you could play as them, so give them an extra chapter where they had to fight Shao, upgraded Shao and his followers, fight them and take him down, since he's now teamed up with Lord Havoc. And then after that chapter, then the chapter could have ended with a shadow play where he plays Noob Saibot. But sadly, we did not get that. And if they did a chapter like I was saying, where he finds Shao and his followers and upgrades them with chaos energy, and they all attack the Outworlders, then we had a Tanya chapter in this story mode. We had a Melina chapter in the previous story, but we didn't have a Katana chapter. Maybe if they add an extra chapter like what I was talking about, find Shao and his followers, upgrade them in chaos energy, then they fight back, teaming up with Lord Havoc, then that extra chapter could have been with Katana, because she doesn't have a chapter in the story. And then of course, once they defeat them, they go to Liu Kang with the other allies, and then you can go to Shadow Play, the chapter, and play Noob Saibot and defeat Lord Havoc and his followers. And that's another thing that's kind of okay. Like the ending was like okay to me. They defeated Havoc, but there's another thing that they were trying to do. Like Noob Saibot was trying to kill him, but Liu Kang says, no, don't do that. We need him alive so we can fix his timeline, like separate all that he merged with his. Because if we just kill him, you're just basically killing everyone in his timeline. Because that's what they do with, which I think the reason why he says that is because Liu Kang, when he turned Shang Tsung Quan Chi to dust in the previous story, he's like, oh no, the timeline's falling apart because they're gone. I think that's when he's like, oh no, we killed everyone now. Now we have to run. That's why in this one he's like, if we need him alive, because if we just kill him now, we can't save innocent millions, like he says. And Noob Saibot's like, no, don't you know what he did to me? And then he tries to, attack Liu Kang until Geras froze him with his time ability. And supposedly he's in the casket now, even though he's not dead. Like he looks like he's dead, but he's not. Because Liu Kang says he's gonna take him to the Temple of the Elements to change him back, which I don't know if they're gonna do that, but if they do, then it will probably be in the end of the next game, if they make another Mortal Kombat game, or in the one after the next one, because who knows now, since right now we don't have a Sub-Zero in this timeline, even though I have a good idea what they could do with the new Sub-Zero, but I'll talk about that in a bit. And of course, after the whole thing, it's where Kuai Liang Scorpion invites Cyrax to join the Shiraryu to atone for her actions for like believing in what Bihan said, even though everything he said was a lie, that kind of thing. And then it just ends there. I'm like, they could have done something else. Like they could have added now with the Kamidoku and Liu Kang understands what to do with them, he can use that to, and also team up with his previous allies that were in the previous story mode, like the Titan Raiden, Kung Lao, and Katana. They could have also helped separate the timelines, fix Havoc, so then no one falls for it again. Like they'll no longer become a part of Havoc, since now they stopped Havoc. And then with Titan Havoc alive, they could like put him back in his timeline again, but to the point where he can't get out to find another timeline and invade again. That could have worked, since they already proved how dangerous he is, since Liu Kang said that's one reason why the Havoc we have in our timeline isn't crazy or insane as this one, because he knows like if he was still acting like that, he would have wanted all of chaos to prevail, and like everything would be taken over and corrupted. That's why our Havoc, he does mention chaos, but he uses like it's like a not like a new rule, but like more like a new age, where this chaos is like, you need the chaos, but you don't need to use it all the time, just in times when you need it the most. Like kind of like for justice, like you need justice is served. It's kind of like that for him, at least for his chaos. Like he's gonna use that chaos to, how do you say this? Or not how do you say this? How do I put this? Use it as your last option of defense, you could say. That's what our Havoc is, while Lord Havoc's like, no, I'm gonna use all of my chaos to take over everything and merge it with my own. So that's what I think of the story modes now. The first one, it's great. Like it was first doing good, then it went okay because of the whole like they didn't have the crown, like they kept mentioning him, Caleb. But then it goes to like fantastic when they get to the final chapter, where it's all the timelines that are good and the timelines that are, I guess, the timelines that are evil. And then this story mode is like, it's good, like Chaos Reigns, it's good, but it can be better. That's what I think about these story modes. Now, what's another thing I want to talk about? Let me check my list. The characters. Wait. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is that now that the game is done, what am I going to do now? I said before, earlier, either minutes ago or an hour ago in this stream, that now that's done, am I still going to play it? Like I said in the beginning, just like Mortal Kombat 11 is done with their support, I still play it till this day, even though I've completed everything in the game. I still play it, mostly single fights and practice sometimes. While in this game, it's completed, but they said they're doing a few balance patches just in case of anything, bugs, stuff like that. I'm still gonna play it, and then since they're doing a repeat of the seasons but with a few different awards, I'm still gonna go for those. And then once they're all done and just repeating it back to the season 1 version, I'm like, okay, there's nothing else I can do. I could just do what I usually did. I've been doing in Mortal Kombat 11. It's that now that it's done, I could just do single fights or repeat or redo the story again, like just to play for fun, and then do practice if I want to get better. And any of the other stuff I want to complete, if I want to complete, or, well, not that if I want to complete, if I can complete now because I've been doing good so far, that's another thing. So yes, I'll still be playing this and including it in my streams, because there's another thing I want to talk about. What am I going to do now, since I'm right now saying to you guys, I'm still going to play this, even though they're done with the support. Like, they said, no more story mode chapters, no more DLC characters, many people were mad because they wanted Combat Pack 3, we didn't. I didn't make a list on that. Like, what would I think if they made a Combat Pack 3? Which we'll talk about another time. Or if you want, you can ask me in the comments after the list live stream ends. You can ask me, ooh, I heard you say you thought of a Kombat 3. What do you think it would be like? If you guys ask me that, I'll leave a comment in there. Yeah, I'll leave a comment in there. So in case you guys comment that, I'm like, okay, this is what I think they could have done. Like, what fighters, what cameos, because I did think of cameos too, because even though Kombat 2 had 1 cameo and Kombat 1 had 5 cameos, I had an option for like how many cameos I want. I thought they would be in the third Kombat, along with the along with the how many fighters there are. I'll explain that for another time. But where was I gonna be at? Oh yeah, now that even though they're done with this game and I'm still gonna play, my next idea is because the second stream I did on Twitch and then uploaded to YouTube was basically Peacemaker fighting almost everyone, because not everyone that we have now was in here. Because the last few we had was On-The-Man, Quan Chi, and Peacemaker, and that was it, because we didn't have the other, the other 9 that were in there. Because when Peacemaker was out, we didn't have these 2, we didn't have these 2, we didn't have these 2, we didn't have these 3 till now. So what I'm going to do is for the next few live streams, like I'm going to do 1 live stream of MK1 per week. At least I'm going to try to, is like do like, they're all going to be customized each fight. So it's going to be 1 fighter I'm going to play as throughout the entire stream versus everyone else, including the person I'm going to play as. So like, let's say I'm going to do like it's going to be Kenshi versus everyone. I'm going to start with Kenshi, and then of course we're going to fight the main roster, then the DLC characters, then end it with the DLC guest characters. And like I said before, I'm going to do that live stream, I'm going to do like a customize everyone except for the fighter I'm going to play as. If I'm going to play as that character, I'm going to leave it like that, but if I want to change it, I'll change it for the live stream, and then that will be it. And of course, we'll do like 1 per week. I'll try to do 1 per week. Let's say like 1 week, 1 day on the week, it'll be Scorpion, 1 day on the week, it'll be Shao. It just depends. It just depends what I plan to do. I just know that when I start doing those streams, it's going to be mirror match, main roster, DLC, then DLC guest characters, and that's it. And then if I have any more ideas for those kinds of fights, I'll let you know later on whenever we're almost done with all of those 1 fighter against everyone else. But yep, that's literally what I'm going to do now that they're done. And without further ado, that's going to be it for this review. I don't know, when did I start this? Probably almost 2 hours ago. And I actually thought it was going to be longer, because before I was going to do this review, I was like, let me calculate. So I'm going to do like, let's say it's going to be like 40 minutes for this topic, 30 minutes for this, blah, 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 blah. My calculations on my calculator was telling me it would have been 4 to 5 hours. I'm like, yeesh, can I make it short? Like shorter than that, so then people are going like, huh? How long is it? You still talking? No. But that's it for now. That is my take on what I think of the game now from what it is in September 2023 to where we are now in May of 2025. Oh, one more thing before I end this live stream. Since I kept mentioning more of MK11 and like the differences between that MK11 and this game, like if you ask me, so you like both games, but which one do you like more between the two? My answer is, I like both, because like they both have their pros, they both have their cons, but like the pros are like so great it far outweighs the cons that they have in their games. And since I like both of what they've done a good job on like what their differences and what the similarities are, but they make it a little different, that's another thing that makes it difficult to choose like which one do I like more. So like for right now, It's a tie. They are both my favorite Mortal Kombat games right now. So like until I find an answer in the future, which one do I like more? For right now, it's gonna have to stay as a tie because, like I say, I can't decide because like the pros outweigh their cons. There are many things I like about both games. I just get to decide. Like they're so good. Like, it's kind of like a winning race. There's so many races, but two of them reach the finish line first at the same time. That's what it's like to me for Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1. It's a tie. We can't decide. I can't decide what to do. Not what to do. What to choose that I like more between the two. So until I find a clear answer in the future, whenever and if I ever find the answer, for right now the answer is a tie. Alright, so now I'm actually done with this review and take what I think about. Before I let you guys go, just letting you know, if you guys have anything you want me to talk about, like let's say, oh, we didn't talk about this topic in your review, can you tell me what this is? I certainly will. Just go in the comments and tell me, hey, you didn't talk to us about this in your review. Can you explain what you think about this or that? And then I'll go in the comments and be like, yes, about these topics, blah, 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 I think about this, blah, 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 and then I'll let you guys know. Like I'm saying, if there's anything you want me to talk about I haven't talked about here, like let's say, what do you think of each character? Let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. So for right now, that'll be it. Thank you for joining this live stream, and I'll catch you guys up with hopefully an Assassin's Creed video. Like I said in the beginning, it was going to be that, but I changed it to this because of what everyone's been talking about, and since I played, I was wanting to get caught up on there. But right now, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, everyone.